Again, as we have a draft that we're going to be enjoying together. And this draft will be analyzed by my wonderful analysts surrounding me, Ti10 and Effie. AUI, what can we be expecting for this game? What things do you think the team should be looking out for?
I think the team should have taken time to sort of identify what they think are the strengths and the weaknesses of both teams. I think for me personally, I think both teams should focus on shutting down each other's offlane. I think both S4 and Whisper are an incredibly important sort of pillar for both their teams. And I'm interested to see how they draft around that.
Would you agree with that?
I agree. And to add on to that, the most interesting thing to me about Beast Coast is it feels like they have 3 carries, kind of, in that there's always a player that you can depend on if they get a good game, right? And they have that in Whisper, Chris Luck, and in K1. So it just feels like that dependence that they can have on each other really makes it so that they draft kind of carefree, really.
What do you think the strengths of Alliance in a draft are, Ollie?
Well, during a lot of the DPC, they would sort of default to playing 3 strength cores and a lot of damage on supports, and just be not static in lane, but wanting to play all 3 lanes, have these really tanky heroes, and wait for Nico Baby's timing. As soon as he hit that, he would sort of lead them around the map. I think their strengths are mostly when I think of S4 as a player, he's actually one of the players I learned a lot from. He was the first player who would be like, okay, guys, we should wait till daytime to smoke because when our smoke pops during daytime, we see them first. He's a really big innovator along the Dota 2 scene. Of course, one of the original members of the Team Secret captain squad.
Yep.
So he has a lot of accumulated knowledge over the years. And I mean, I haven't talked to him recently, but I feel like he comes up with new stuff constantly whenever I talk to him.
Do you feel something similar about FNG, also considered an innovator back in the Virtus Pro days in his time?
Honestly, I just know a bit less about FNG.
That's fair.
I know he's a good captain, I know he's a good player, but I just don't have a personal connection with him as much.
That's fair. Effie, let's go to the other side on Beast Coast. Who's the innovator on that team, especially in the drafting phase?
Honestly, I feel like it's a bit of a team effort, but one of the players that enables the innovation is Chris Luck.
Oh, you think it's Chris Luck?
No, I think he enables the innovation.
Okay.
I don't know who the mastermind.
Can you elaborate on that?
I'm about to. Right, so Chris Luck is a player that will play anything mid. He will play anything. If they draft a carry Slark and they think, okay, this is a bad lane for Slark, Chris Luck just goes, give it to me. And he plays at mid. And just having a player who is so flexible in his ability to adapt to an overall gameplay change or some kind of hero that is unconventional mid makes it so that it opens up the draft for the other players. And I think that's one of their biggest strengths, actually. We've seen him on Snapfire, on Slark, on various support heroes. He's just a nice pillar to have, I think.
I completely agree with that. One of the things that I always remember about Beast Coast was I was talking to Quinn about them. He was just like, Chris Luck doesn't have a hero pool, he has a hero ocean. I was like, excuse me? I looked at his games, he just plays everything. I think that's what I like watching about Beast Coast. They're just a weird team. I play versus Whisper, and I click him, and he has Spirit Vessel, no other items on puck offlane. And he just they're really good at identifying what their win condition in the draft is. I watched their game versus I think maybe Vici, but they had a Troll versus a Razor. So they had their 4-position Tiny rush a 4-staff, which is very not normal. Normally we just go for the blink, so he could push him out of the link. And then Whisper on the offlane Mars, he went for Meteor Hammer, Arcane Boots, so he could get just a bit quicker Lotus Orb, and then they could protect their Troll. So they think as a team, how can we enable K1's game? Because at the end of the day, they're all they play sort of carryish, but after a certain point, all the resources go to Hector.
And in case you're wondering, and you're a Beast Coast fan yourself, you're like, who's actually drafting on this team? I have the answer for you. It's actually Stinger, who's the main drafter. He talks to Hector about his drafts, K1. And now with Papita, the inclusion has shifted as Hector now has to deal less with the drafts, only concentrate on his carry pool, and instead Stinger and Papita talk about the overall effects. So if you were curious, as we get into the draft, we have some unique picks, some picks that we have seen pretty decent win rate, but not very often, but a very Schofield pick on the Nyx Assassin here. What do you think of this Beast Coast draft to start off, Effie?
Well, when I see Sven, I think of K1. That's just a hero that fits his playstyle so well. He flash farms, he will hit his timings on time, and then he will steamroll the map of his team. So this is a hero that they are comfortable playing around, and they are comfortable setting up for. They can play for stacks, they can play for enabling his lane, and even if it goes badly, he's very dependable. And Schofield, Nyx is one of his staple heroes. He loves to run around the map, and he isn't a typical 4 in that he likes to play these kind of boring heroes, if that makes sense. But he loves his Earth Spirits, his Earth Shakers, his Nyxes, and seeing the style of roaming, fighting 4 just makes me so fond of Beast Coast because seriously, because a lot of the teams will just go for something more traditional and not that exciting.
Yeah, I feel like Beast Coast, you care about the tournament meta, but they don't let it force their hand, you know? Like Stinger Shadow Demon, I feel like he's played this hero 50 times in competitive games. And what I find interesting is that they chose to first suit a Sven. I feel like before this match, they just went to Hector and was like, what hero are you going to carry us with? And he's like, Sven, give me Sven. And they will design their entire game plan around this one hero.
Also, I would just like to add that it really does feel like Beast Coast play for their own personal enjoyment of the game. That's why they've never really felt like they had to force themselves into the mold that is the meta. They just play it the way that they like, and they impose it on other teams, and that's a very interesting characteristic of this team.
So right now, I think Beast Coast, they really need to try to match the team fight of Alliance. I think they're falling a bit behind because Shadow Demon, he's not really a team fighter. Same for Nyx Assassin. You're facing up against the Outer Titan. I think the draft, it doesn't look bad for Beast Coast right now, but I think they need something convincing. Oh. Okay, so this was their answer to Monkey King from Chris Luck mid usually, right? But I'm actually curious why they want Wind Ranger this game. Because in my head, I don't think that lane is good versus Lina. Okay. I think Lina should do pretty well versus Wind Ranger. So maybe just like a comfort here. I'm not sure.
Can you elaborate on the Alliance draft first, actually? Because we talk about Beast Coast, but you talked about the strong team fight Alliance draft. Is that what you're seeing here?
I mean, I feel like this is like the stereotypical Alliance draft. Okay. Like you have S4 on a stunner, strength stunner. I mean, maybe Limp on Lina is a bit more unusual. Usually he would actually have been the DK, but it's not really meta mid. And you have like these Hanskin or FNG will play one pick-off hero and one team fight hero, I think, usually.
But I do enjoy this Lina pick because it tells me that Alliance are going to try something that has seen success, right? Because Lina is a hero that was rising to popularity, actually, when TA was popular, because she functioned in a similar way in that she could shove lanes, build the BOTs, and fight early, and scale all the way to the late game, all the while maintaining her farm. And she's kind of become even more popular during groups than other heroes that may have taken priority in the past. And I think it's really good that Alliance are able to identify this and try this, because if you don't do it now, if other things haven't worked, you have to try something new. And I agree with what AOI said completely about this looking like an Alliance draft. Like, you have 2 tanky heroes, you have something that can just right-click from a distance.
And I like the idea of their draft too. It's like ET plus a lot of long-range nukes here, right?
Right.
If they see someone, I mean, there's a little bit of counterplay with Shadow Demon, but honestly, it's not easy. If they DK stun someone, throw nukes with an ET Spirit from afar, it's very simple to play the team fights. You can sort of force Beast Coast to have to run into you and commit. And Effie, I think you were mentioning to me before that Beast Coast's lowest win rate was a lot against these big team fight heroes. I think Outer Titan should sort of fit that category, or what do you think?
I think he fits that category a little bit, but I do feel like this is a hero that they play a lot, so they understand how to play against it as well, right? But I'm really glad that you brought that up, because if you look at Beast Coast's bans, their first one is Tidehunter, and they have lost every single game they have played against that hero. So to me, that is very indicative of the style of Dota that they play and how they don't necessarily like to run into defensive lineups and just fight head on when they prefer to win their lanes, just go for picks with Schofield, centering that and just playing around Whisper.
So what are the weaknesses you think they should cover with this last pick on Beast Coast? You were doubtful about the Wind Ranger of it.
Wait, I think it's Alliance's pick now, right?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so
yes.
Alliance, I mean, I want to see, is Faceless Void? Oh, they banned Faceless Void. I would have said Faceless Void because it's Nico Baby, one of the best Voids in the game. For some reason, I was thinking of Slark for this series.
Interesting.
Like, if I was Alliance, I would have said the same thing to Nico Baby as they said to K1 on Beast Coast, I think. It's like, what hero do you think you will carry us in this game with? Like, the 4 of us, if I look at their game plan, you'll pick some stun, some long-range nukes, we were to pick them off. But I think if you give Nico Baby map control on a hero that hits the timing, okay, Spectre, okay.
So what are the strengths of this pick here?
I mean, he's really good for Shadow Demon, I think, right now. I think Spectre is primarily picked for the Falcon Blade into Aghanim's build. When you use your Aghanim's, I don't know what it's called, reality, something. Mini haunt? sure, mini haunt.
Oh, Shadow Step, sorry.
Shadow Step, okay. It puts a dagger on them, and then there's a 15 dagger talent. So you actually double dagger the person that you go on. It's like a 700 damage nuke, which allows them to just blow up someone like a Shadow Demon or a Nyx. And Beast Coast actually end up going for the Sand King.
Okay.
I like this pick so much because earlier AI was mentioning that it doesn't really seem like they can match them in team fight, and by picking a team fight hero and enabling their ability to fight back if they need to, they have covered that with the Sand King. Also, he has a very good lane versus Spectre.
Okay. Can you tell me the strengths of this Beast Coast draft?
They're gonna farm this Sven, and they're gonna run at the rest of the team with these 4 heroes, and they're gonna play for picks, they're gonna play for map control, and eventually when Sven hits his timings, they're gonna just barrel through.
Yeah, I agree with what Effie said. I think this game, still, it's all about how these offlanes are going to go. DK and Sand King, they're going to be the tempo controllers for both their teams. So I'm going to watch those lanes particularly closely this game.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to ask an expert in this matter, which is Beast Coast coach Mariano, previously known as Papita, and Sir Action Slacks has him, so I can ask him some valuable questions.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for taking some valuable time with us. Just got done with your draft there. Did it go as you expected? Did you see that Spectre coming?
Yeah, it was between the options that we knew they were going to pick, and we just chose the best offlaner that we have for Whisper. So, yeah.
Fantastic. How do you think that Sand King's going to do? What's it trying to do in this game?
It's just a lot of magic damage, a lot of AoE initiation that we needed. It's like a second initiation that we have instead of Nyx, if we need it.
Fantastic. Well, you're the last hope of SA, my friend. I wish you the best of luck and look forward to a fantastic match.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, and back to you guys.
That's right, Slack said it. Beast Coast is the last hope for South America. And meanwhile, this is the last chance for Alliance to prove themselves on LAN. Elimination awaits, Kyle, and they've both been here before.
Indeed, they have. In fact, Nico Baby was here last year, playing against this exact same roster when he was still with Mineski. Obviously, they lost that series 2-1, and I'm sure he would like revenge. And Alliance looking for a little bit of vindication because a lot of people thought they might find themselves here in a BO1.
Yeah? Who were those people, Kyle?
Not me, but
fair.
Many. This team, incredibly strong online, has not had the same success on LAN, and I think it's just really interesting to look at the two personalities of these teams. You see them in the green room, Beast Coast dancing, having fun, enjoying themselves, and Alliance all serious. And I actually talked a lot about this because to me, I think the teams having more fun are likely more confident.
Sure, we take that principle from like OG, right?
Yeah.
Two-time TI winners. They have fun in the booth, and that shows inside of the game that they have some confidence, that they take away the nerves, right?
Exactly. And I agree, Loda, different philosophy. Just because you're serious doesn't mean that you're not confident. And you don't need to have fun to win games of Dota, but...
I mean, that's fair. That's the wisdom of a TI winner right there. So definitely you can take different philosophies to how you approach the Dota 2 game, but there is no doubt that nerves are going to play a hand here in a best-of-1 elimination, as it has for the last two teams, and it will right here as our bounties are about to come underway here. We're going to have a little bit of a split here. Early stun on FNG, just a bit of poke, as the two teams will just split the bounty runes 2-2.
And I'm personally going to be keying in on Whisper because, yes, Sand King, one of his best heroes. I think he's been one of the best offlaners at this tournament. But matchup-wise, this is a hard Sand King game. Spectre Haunt cancels the blink. You're playing against a ton of disables, and Elder Titan as well. Very frustrating. If you catch Spirit before you're trying to blink in, all of a sudden it's on cooldown. And in addition, the hero dies after blinking in. It's the main issue with the concept. There's so much burst, and Alliance's lineup is incredibly durable as well. Limp with first two Lina should have a slight edge in the Wind Ranger matchup.
So it sounds like to be Beast Coast is going to have to make a priority in setting the initiation first in a lot of these team fights. Whisper's got a key component of that. Whisper, who has been honestly a star player for Beast Coast over the years, just incredible performances day in, day out by him, and he's going to have to give them one more in order to get out of the best-of-1 eliminations.
Yeah. They're going to need to play some pretty damn good Dota because their lineup is, it's a lot harder to execute because you're going to need so many more kills than your opponents to win the game.
Right.
If you look at the Sand King,
Top lane, K1 Hector in a little bit of trouble. He does have the Fairy Fire, but the last hit, is that going to be enough? S4 claims the first blood. The captain of Alliance manages to kill that all-important carry of Beast Coast. I mean, this is supposed to be their anchor. K1 Hector has had marvelous performances on lands. He was held as one of the best carries to look at Ti10, and well, he's already dropped an early kill against a Dragonite lane.
This was their opening too, right?
Yeah.
And how classic is that it's the S4 DK, the Alliance Dragon Knight, that scores the first blood. They rode this hero all throughout the DPC to a bunch of victories, so no surprise they take it here facing elimination.
Yeah, when they need it most, they go right back to what was most successful to them throughout the year. And they do have that like hard, let's say, durable carry in Nico Baby Spectre, which we just saw in the last series, right? It can really help you out to be able to know just, hey, guys, relax. We have better late game. We've got this big carry that will eventually take over. It worked for Quincy Crew and Alliance. They're not losing their lane either. FNG looking for another kill here, but won't be able to find it. Schofield will sacrifice his own health points to keep Whisper alive.
Yeah, really, if you look at the three cores of Alliance, you can argue they all outscale the opposing core on the side of Beast Coast, which is why, the South American side is really going to feel pressure to make moves and find kills. They're lacking in tower damage, they're lacking in sustained damage, so you really need these lanes to go well and break out of the laning phase early, start rotating around the map.
Yeah.
Like Lina may have got slightly nerfed, but this is still, wait, Schofield?
What is Schofield doing? I think he's just keeping him here a little bit while longer, taunting him, goes back to the tier 2. What is happening?
Yeah, I mean...
What? I've never seen that tactic before, Kyle.
Did FNG like Mango? Did he not expect him to have a spirit?
I have no idea, but we saw the camera of Schofield. He didn't look particularly upset with that. Obviously intended for something to happen there. I'm not sure feeding away the second kill to Alliance is the play, but I guess he does get a free trip, a free ride back to base. Hunskin being very offensive here, very oppressive. The Stinger does manage to get a pull off, but he's not having a fun time, nor is really anybody on the side of Beast Coast. You can see top 2 CS going the way of Alliance. Limp is winning his matchup against Chris Luck, and this has got to be a little bit concerning, Kyle, because Beast Coast, they chose Alliance, right?
Yeah. And these lanes are not looking great.
FNG, that Cosmic Finale Pop is doing so much damage, they underestimated. Nico Baby takes a huge chunk as FNG explodes, and they're going to keep going. They have the Burrow Strike. They have the nice healing salve to be able to tank up a few more tower hits. They just need a little bit more. Schofield's in. He takes away the healing salve. And that means Nico Baby is going to need some help from FNG. But look at him, Schofield and Whisper. They don't want to let him keep a healing salve up. They're going to be able to find him behind the trees. Cut it out again. Miss out on the impale, though. And Whisper has tended a little bit too far into the Alliance forest. They are going to be able to get a third kill now. I don't know what to say, Kyle. This is Beast Coast playing with a little bit more loose than maybe they should.
This is This TI, right? It's a best of one. These things happen.
Yeah.
Whisper, I think they might get the kill on Spectre. He auto-attacked a creep twice trying to get a caustic proc. And you don't get the kill. I understand the reasoning, but then you dive tower into an Elder Titan TPing in. Oh, it's a big risk for little reward. And this mid lane, man, Limp, considered one of the strongest mid laners in Dota 2 for some time. The question is, how does he play his mid to late game? That's considered his weakness. But right now, this is a comfort hero for him.
Yeah.
He is crushing this lane.
Hector getting him a little bit low against, again, a Dragonite. I'm not expecting Hector to be so close to death against a Dragonite, notoriously a very low damage hero in the laning phase, just incredibly durable, but it looks like he's using that to be able to constantly assault the top lane, and he's dead!
What is, man, Alliance, what they at their Wii's today or something? What? That's a solo DK.
And FNG just baited Whisper into a little bit of a duel. And Whisper is going to walk away with very low health. as Nico Baby has full control of the lane now. Top 3 CS, all going the way of Alliance. They're killing it in this laning phase, Kyle.
Oh yeah, I mean K1, he's known for prioritizing his farm. Surprised he maxed cleave, so they really no threat whatsoever in this lane with only 1 point
They
stun.
just keep on going. They're relying on the Cosmic Finale to blow up Nico Baby, but instead they just end up feeding more and more deaths. Nico Baby's going to be able to pick up that second kill on Schofield while top lane is losing out as well. A late TP is not going to stop S4. He retreats cleanly. 2,000 net worth lead at 7 minutes, Kyle. Beast Coast is supposed to be known for being able to show up to land, to shrug off the nervousness that affects every single team, and yet they look like they're totally falling apart here.
Seriously, Alliance, this is the dream for them, right? If they were going to show jitters, you figured to be in the laning phase, but so far they're dominant, and every player is on a comfort hero. They outscale, and the concern with Beast Coast lineup is, like, look at the damage output. They need levels to do anything.
Dude, Schofield, he's got to get out of here, otherwise he's just dead again as the dagger is incoming. Take away the sentry. Schofield will barely survive there. K1 Hector trying to do his classic farming creeps as he works his way back right in front of the enemy. But at Ti9, when Chris Luck and Hector were doing that, it was cocky, it was fun, and it got into the heads of the opponents. Here, it just looks damn dangerous.
Indeed. And this is not pleasant for a Sven. Like, he's level 6, he's got to walk all the way back to base. You look around, there's no stacks anywhere, not as if he really had the power to take them at the moment, but there's a Dragon Knight just pushing your tower. He's nearly got a Blink Dagger on S4. You might have it by 10 minutes. Limp is closing in on BOTs. In fact, they're flying out to him on the courier. That's an insane timing.
Another stomp. They do have an early dust after their success in the laning phase. FNG is able to afford a lot more than a 5 position normally would. As a result, Whisper is forced back once again top lane. We're going to watch them go into K1. Hector does manage to get up that extra bit of armor with the war cry before they go on him. So the punishment is minimized a bit. But the fact that Alliance can just keep doing this and keep chipping away at this tower, Beast Coast doesn't really seem to have a planned response just yet, as Chris Luck is going to head down to the bottom lane.
That's a product of the draft, though, Cap, because Sven, Wind Ranger, you need actual items to deal damage, and your two supports, Nyx and Shadow Demon, you need ults. Like, right now, you offer very little in terms of damage or control. So S4 is just like tanking poison and just hitting tower. Chris Luck, he really wanted to get something down bottom, but you can see him. He's walking right past this ward. It showed him earlier as well. And Limp just solo kills Schofield standing
right in front of Chris Luck, and now the other support's going to die as well, as S4 will actually back out, respecting Chris Luck's TP here. They're so far ahead that they don't necessarily want to be trading. Nico Baby, he's going to pop his ultimate and join in on the fray. He's going to go for Stinger. Stinger is certainly dead. S4 not caught just yet as the reinforcements from Alliance are here. Limp is going to join in on the fray, and that will allow S4 to get away from Chris Luck.
You can see this Alliance lineup is so dangerous, especially if Beast Coast play into the DK lane, because both Spectre and Lina can global in. And you're always going to want to take that fight. You're going to blow spells on my Dragon Knight with like 1 billion HP and armor. It's just not a successful strategy. They're only up 2k. K1 has got a lot of space. It's a troubling game.
Is that space going to be enough? I mean, you talked about how they scale so well on Alliance. So Beast Coast have to hit some amazing window where the Sven feels strong. I don't know when that is. Does he have to wait for BKB? It feels like it with this Lina Lion. I don't know if he's going to be able to hit anybody before BKB.
Yeah, it's the offensive threat of Alliance, because their timings are just so accelerated because of how well this laning phase has gone. Because Blink is flying out to S4. He's going to be able to play with either support or with his Lina threatening that global bots in. And Nico Baby is halfway to Aghanims. As soon as he has that up, suddenly you're effectively applying threat in all places. And the issue with Beast Coast's 3, 4, and 5 is that they're incredibly susceptible to just being jumped and 100 to 0'd. Wind Ranger as well, really, until BKB. Both cores need BKB.
Yeah. And most teams have been taking OG's lead when it comes to Ti9 and the coin flip, when it comes to playoffs and who they're going to be choosing. But you said that Beast Coast, they apparently picked Alliance.
They did.
They were very confident.
Very confident.
Well, they got to be questioning themselves now. Maybe they should have just relied on fate rather than their own decision making, because now a beautiful stomp is going to be able to come in, and that is another dead hero. 9-2. Alliance just keep on heating up here. And a cold Romanian night.
Schofield, I think he's...
Another one. It's going to go for Schofield. Schofield does have the spike carapace, but Hanskin is here on the other side. He's dead, and they could probably even deny the tower if they want to.
Like, thing is, we haven't really seen Beast Coast like make a move yet.
Nope.
Alliance is just, you know, they crushed the lanes. They've taken 2 T1s. And Beast Coast, like, they had placed a ton of early wards. They're very low on them now. They had 4 on map for that end of laning phase portion of the game.
Whisper, they're going to have to do so much here. This is a start. They pick up the Blink Dagger, the kill Hanskin, but they need to start getting more than just some support pickoffs.
To be fair, K1 is actually enormous when you consider the state of the game and how rough top was. He's actually catching up to Limp. You know, 0 and 2, but still at 10 CS per minute.
It seems to be the mantra of K1 Hector and Beast Coast teams in general. Hector, he'll be farmed no matter what happens. And the rest of the team just needs to be able to make some sort of successful team fights happen without him. Just needs time, more time, and they're going to smoke through over into the mid lane here, but that mid tower prevents them from being able to invade any deeper. So they're just waiting for somebody to show from Alliance, but you could see Alliance, they may have some idea of this. They're smoked, but they're not moving aggressively into the enemy side of the map. They're being very cautious.
I mean, Beast Coast, they're showing nobody but K1 just now in the mid lane, so they're very aware something might be going down. No reason really to push the envelope. Alliance are, you know, they're stronger right now, but they can wait. Every minute that goes by, like, Nico's just free farming. And
yeah.
Aghanims on Spectre, BKB Lina, that's impossible to fight into, with the exception of Beast Coast getting a really nice opening from Schofield. He's going to have to find some angle to approach outside of sentry range, and then him plus Chrislock could theoretically explode the Lina before she's able to cast a spell.
And that's going to be our priority target, right, for Beast Coast. When they start fights, they can kill Limp first, then it's probably a good fight. If they go on the Dragonite or even the Spectre, it may not be so good.
And this... Well, I thought Schofield was about to walk up the high ground. Would have been certainly his demise. And I like what Alliance have done. You see how they're placing these wards with sentries nearby? It's all to just find the Nyx as he walks up and down choke points.
Yeah. This means Alliance holds really nice control of both this mid lane because their tower is still up and top lane. They're going to go for Limp here. A good opening for Schofield, but Chris Luck is a little bit too far behind to be able to capitalize off of that one. And now he's going to be caught. Nico, baby, immediately joins S4 and gunning for this Wind Ranger. A long-range shot. Oh, the Earth Splitter just a bit shy. Whisper running interference and will give up his life to ensure that Chris Luck gets out. But it's another disaster for Beast Coast.
Oh, S4 almost caught Chris Luck on the end there. And that's... Like, it's kind of a desperation move from Beast Coast. That opening comes onto Limp, but no one's even in range. Yeah, the shackle lands, but Chris Luck had to blow his wind run to do that, which means that you just, you know, easy counter-initiate, press Haunt, Dagger, chase him out of the fight, and Whisper, that's the trouble with his hero in this game. You can blink stun, sure, but then you're just a blink Tranquil Sand King.
Yeah.
You die to rifles.
He is not going to keep doing a whole lot more. Like, the best we can hope for is a decent epicenter and a good burrow. But he is not going to keep scaling at this rate. 4,000 down. Beast Coast going to go for a smoke here. But it just reeks of desperation. It reeks of one of those plays where they feel like they have to make a move here. Schofield leading the charge. Hector, sentry on out behind the tier 1 tower while Hector bangs on it.
They don't have cooldowns. Limp is so close to BKB, I don't think Alliance are really going to want to contest this. No Haunt, no Finger, no Earth Splitter, so yeah, just let the mid tower go. This is a really wise move.
That's smart, very smart from Alliance. They're ahead, they don't need to take any risks here.
Dude, and Nico has his Aghanims.
Nice. Oh, that is a big Spectre. Shadow Step ready to join in all of these little skirmishes now. For all intents and purposes, this is a Spectre online.
This is the dream for Hanskin, for S4, because all of a sudden, your carry can just play with you. Anytime you're able to find a hero isolated, you've got so much lockdown. You've got a guaranteed Spectre on top with the double dagger damage. You can see Schofield, like, he's level 6, but he's got to play this aggressive. They have these great wards. He'd love to find Limp, but with no one around him, who's going to execute this kill?
Yeah, he's scouting just for scouting's sake, and he doesn't even find this smoke. Alliance was a little bit too fast, and they are going to be able to catch Chris Luck here. And even better, Nico Baby can be a part of the kill. Maybe even take the last hit, but no. Shackle Shot denies that. S4 finds it instead.
Schofield is still tracking Limp. His entire ultimate just sticking on top of the Lina, but nothing doing there. I mean, look, you first do this, Sven. You know what the Beast Coast strategy is. It was similar to their idea at Ti10 when Hector was often the most farm player, whether his team was winning or losing. And once again, they're kind of giving him the keys to not just their hopes in this game, but the entire South American region. Beast Coast is the last hope, and it's all going to rest on their Sven's shoulders.
14-3, 17 kills a minute, most of them coming from the Alliance side, as they don't need to, you could see just the way they're playing around the map right now. They're not necessarily trying to play on Beast Coast side. They're very happy just to keep the map split 50-50. They're gonna go for an Orchid next for Nico Baby, so these supports and even Chris Luck himself is going to have a real hard time of things. And Limp, well, he now may be indestructible in these next team fights. If he does not get initiated on, which he might here, BKB goes off first. He turns around, goes for Schofield. Schofield should be run down pretty easily. They're gonna pop the haunt here just to see, okay, is this a kill by itself or can we get more? It's just the single pickoff.
A little skittish there from Limp, but he does get the BKB off in time. The concern, though, is Alliance just used a lot of cooldowns, and this is some breathing room for Beast Coast. Chris Luck, he's just a recipe away now from his BKB. 300, 400 gold.
Okay.
And it looks like K1, he's the same, 400 gold or so. So it would have been, like, Alliance, that was their big timing, and they got a kill on an Nyx Assassin.
Yeah.
The next engagement, you're going to have Beast Coast ready to go.
Nice reactions there from Whisper. Dust goes off, he immediately blinks himself away. Can't afford another death, otherwise he won't be able to pick up that Yule's Scepter he's gunning for. There's the Maelstrom for Chris Luck, which means he is... Okay, never mind. Sorry, he's breaking apart, yeah. So should be getting the BKB in a second like you were talking about.
But Alliance, I think the time is now to cross the river. I like that they gave up the mid tower, but they've been very reluctant to make any sort of aggressive plays on the map. And you're giving Beast Coast this window now where they're going to have a really strong spike. Both cores now with BKB. This is a totally different game. You even have a Yules on Whisper, so he should be able to survive for at least that secondary stun.
Do you feel like this is the best hope for Beast Coast? If they want to be able to come back into this game, it's going to be off of this timing right here, right?
Yeah.
All right. That means the tension grows for Beast Coast. Will they be able to get the right kind of team fight open?
Keep in mind, like Nico Baby, his next item up is Orchid. That'll help him kill supports. But now all three cores have that defensive tool, and I think that's pretty accurate. Like, Alliance is ahead, but this would be more of like a 90 or 95% probability had they gotten a big team fight, more wards aggressively in that window where they had all these first core items up and Beast Coast were still lacking them. Now all of a sudden it's really anyone's fight. Like, the gold advantage, sure, yes, Alliance is winning, but that doesn't mean that they can take a fight that isn't on their terms, especially if Beast Coast force it under either one of these ward sentries they placed around the Roche pit.
That is an interesting proposition for Beast Coast. Taking a team fight around Roshan just enhances the rewards.
Yep.
They can win that, get themselves an Aegis, then all of a sudden they can be playing on Alliance's side of map, which is something they're going to have to do seemingly since Alliance are not willing to play forward. Beast Coast has to be the ones taking the first steps.
What's keeping him, not only is K1 like one of the best farmers in Dota, like he's got almost 300 CS. Like, he's a Sven playing a passive game against Spectre. So you're naturally going to get this net worth lead, and it spikes and peaks, I would say, in about 5 to 10 minutes. He'll have that Sanjin Yasha and then probably like the AC. And if he can hit the Silver Edge timing early enough, You know, you eat Spectre for lunch.
Yes.
You remove Dispersion, you've got so much follow-up stuns, things get really spooky. And then I'm sure Fog knows, if Stinger can ever get Aghanim Scepter, all
They're
these
going to find the opening. They're going to be able to get the initiation on Whisper. Alliance strikes first.
Schofield.
Beast Coast can't afford anybody else to get picked off right now, because if they do, Alliance may be able to just gun for Roshan themselves. A pick-off on Whisper isn't a big enough opening for Alliance, and they might be able to find S4 here. They're going to stop him from being able to blink away, but he does manage to get off the BKB. He turns around and just kills Schofield right away. They're going to go for more, actually using the Shadow Step to be able to jump in. They have the Orchid, but at the same time, Blink off the Shackle Shot without the BKB. The follow-up stun is not there. Lip gets off the BKB, but the physical damage is tearing him apart. An unstoppable streak given away to Beast Coast, and they're going to look for more. Shackle Shot just to close that distance. Echo Saber to be able to slow it down, but now no more BKB. Hector's in trouble. Earth Splitter hits. They do manage to get a nice two-man stun from Hoskin. And FNG, he wants to be able to get this battle. Turns around, gets the stun onto S4. K1 Hector dropping a little bit low, and God's strength is beginning to wane, and that's an opportunity. Alliance see hesitation. They see weakness, and they pounce. They take down two. Whisper in the back line hopes to get a support. They grab him. Next is going to be S4. Nico Baby. Uh-oh, he's low. The Shadow Demon has got him dead to rights. Whisper's gone, and all of a sudden, Beast Coast, off of a death of K1 Hector, their primary carry from the ashes of his death, they managed to make a really nice closure to that team fight for themselves.
Oh, yeah, huge. They used both buybacks on supports, but they were so necessary. Incredible job from Stinger. You can see those Shadow Demon illusions are just eating Nico Baby apart, especially when he's afflicted by the Purge. Still an even fight. You can see Alliance, they're overcommitting with their spell usage. They used Finger and Haunt just for that opening kill. We're going to watch the replay real quick. Nice BKB from S4, but I think if they can just take this kill and maybe get out, they're going to be okay. But there's going to be a buyback from Schofield in a moment. Yes, you kill Stinger, but now look at the positioning, right? Chris Luck, BKB, ultimate, there's no save on Alliance. So Limpet's just dead to rights. It'll take a little time, but there's nothing you can do to save him. And both of those support kills you just dove for are now right back in the action.
And Beast Coast, we can see they just kept on going. Very nice hits there from the two supports of Alliance. Honestly, they did a great job keeping this fight going to their favor, keeping S4 out of danger for the longest time. Back inside the game, though, Whisper's going to be able to find an opening. Alliance is right behind him, though. They've already taken down Whisper. The two-man stuns keep raining in. They're going to be able to kill both Whisper and Schofield.
Really
and
nice
another BKB charge for K1 Hector used as well.
Yeah, and that is a big deal, really. It was changed. BKB used to go down to 5 seconds at its minimum. Now, of course, it's 6. But even that doesn't feel long enough when you consider how much disable Alliance is playing with.
Yeah.
You can see the big issue just with Whisper Sand King in this game. Like, fantastic player, but if he catches a stun, he's going to catch another one and another one, and he's likely dead before he uses an ability.
Glimmer Cape, desperately needed for Stinger, because I just assume that he's going to be dead every haunt, right? Yeah. I mean, this Spectre does not want to get disrupted and purged.
No.
So if he could just pop a haunt, find that Shadow Demon, Orchid, he should just be dead. Maybe he can keep himself alive with Glimmer Cape at best.
Yeah. One thing to note, though, Limp is going for a less traditional item with the Lincoln Sphere.
Okay.
Just trying to guarantee that he can get his BKB off, but it does mean his damage output will be a little lessened. I think we're used to seeing, Silver Edge, maybe Daedalus's MKBs.
It sounds like to me you disagree with it a little bit. There is a lot of single target stuns on Beast Coast, though.
Exactly. Like, it saves him from the Sand King, but my big concern is always that late in the game, it's a 5,000 item that the enemy offlaner support, they buy a 4-staff, and their 2k gold beats your 5.
Finds the initiation, pops the BKB, Whisper uses Burrow Strike in order to get out. That is both a BKB and a haunt being used. Beast Coast, almost undoubtedly here, are going to be looking for an opening to be able to take another fight against Alliance. This is an opening for them, and Alliance need to be careful.
Really good smoke. They know it's an opening. Alliance have to be conservative here.
Vendetta leading the charge, Schofield. They have to be careful about where they move here. You can see Alliance, they're very aware of this move. And
No
if
sentry.
Schofield can sneak his way around here, find an opening, that's going to be on FNG. Where's the rest of his team? They're going to go for, oh, they managed to catch him through the Lincolns. They managed to get the perch on him as well. And here comes Hector. 1, 2, 3, and Limp is knocked out. FNG is going to be up next. Nice Earth Splitter, but Alliance seem a little bit skittish about going back in, as they should. No haunt on the Spectre, no reason to fight further.
And what a baller. Whisper, that is so confident. Like, he blink, Yules to cancel, and stunned immediately. So he's just in no man's land, trusting in his team to be able to finish the kill.
Oh, Whisper is in again. The rest of his team was going for Roshan, and Whisper's like, I'm going to catch somebody from Alliance scouting the Roshan pit. And S4 is desperate to be able to get control of this area of the map. They're going to leave Schofield behind as he's orchided away by Nico Baby. The rest of Beast Coast coming back in, and S4, he's in pretty deep here, and he got caught. Chain stuns going out, but he managed to get the Essence Ring BKB off. Turns around. Chris Luck keeping his distance here. Whisper may be caught by this line. The chain's disabled. He may never be able to get out of this one. Maybe he does. Burrow strike through S4. Gets a little distance. S4 charging in. Gets met with K1 Hector, and down he goes. Limp is just now back, though, and Beast Coast are not going to be able to get the Roshan they were originally searching for.
I think you're okay with that. Like, the Aegis would have been a huge window for BC, but you did have to spend a buyback on FNG, and a huge streak just went to Chris Luck. S4 was worth 613 gold. But man, it's tense now. Like, the trouble Alliance, it feels like their damage output is a little lackluster at the moment. All these items defensive on the Lina, still yet to pick up a real damage item.
And that is the one thing about the Aghanims buildup of the Spectre.
Exactly.
It's amazing, no doubt, but it's not a strict damage item. It just increases your uptime with being able to join in on team fights. You combine that with the Lincolns, another non-damage item from Alliance, and I could see where this is kind of colliding.
These items are not really built to deal with the enemy cores. So the Orchid timing is great, but all 3 cores on Beast Coast have a way to deal with it. So your only real way to get like the value you require is if you can pick off the Shadow Demon at the start of the fight. That means your Manta's delayed, your Scotty's delayed, and the Sven will have an easier time for a longer time in this game as we approach the end of the mid-game. Still no Roche, it's 30 minutes in. Oh, now whoa, DD.
They're gonna go for it, double damage on Limp. A great opening for Alliance, and it's too late, Beast Coast. A power shot reveals. They're going to go for it, baby. But the haunt has already gone down, and S4 struck first. The disc from Whisper is going to be able to keep him alive, and S4 is being ripped apart by Chris Luck. The damage of the focus fire, it doesn't matter how tanky you are or if you've got the BKB. This Chris Luck Wind Ranger single target damage is off the charts.
And that, there's nothing you can do about that. Alliance have no save. Really heads up by Chris Luck. This is going to be his MO for the rest of this game. Utilize your BKB to kill somebody by just running next to them, focus firing.
And when you say somebody, do we have specific targets in mind, right? We still, like, Lina's still a big target, though he's now got the Aegis. Do you agree with him going for S4 every fight? What do you want?
I think so. Well, he rushed the MKB. Those procs, of course, deal magical damage, but he also got the Mind Breaker, so it's an extra 25 magic attack per hit.
Oh my god, so that is such a good neutral item for him.
It is the perfect neutral item, especially in this game. Because it also means that, you know, you pop on somebody, all these Alliance heroes have stuns, that spot silence will really frustrate somebody like Hanskin.
Well, they don't call him Chris Luck for nothing, as Beast Coast is going to back up and probably look for another smoke here. This item build from K1 Hector, we talked about the potential of Silver Edge. Really good against Spectre, really good against Dragonite. Hector here has a different idea. He's going for like the Satanic build up first, just Crystallis into Satanic. What do you think?
It makes sense, right? He kind of is like the sole damage dealer and the frontliner. Okay. Whisper and Chris Luck kind of need him to be making this chaos and putting attention onto himself.
Oh, Stinger. Thought he had an opening there. Doesn't get the demonic purge off on Limp, and maybe it's for the best anyway. Again, Lina does have the Aegis, as Alliance have been recognizing the priority targeting from Beast Coast. 1,000 net worth lead for Alliance, but it's closing down a little bit. They've been in control of the game this entire time after that disastrous laning phase for Beast Coast. I'm a little bit concerned for Alliance now.
Yeah, just because, you know, look, Beast Coast, their flaw in the laning phase was being a little too aggressive. Looking at you, Schofield.
Yeah.
But they've kept that mentality even after getting washed in the laning phase. So
Now it's Alliance's turn to get aggressive, though, and a big opening. Being able to kill this Shatter Demon opens possibilities for the Spectre to be able to get in. K1 Hector's already taken so much damage. He pops the BKB, but he's got the Satanic. If he can just get some swings in, look at the Spectre die! Chris Luck! K1 Hector is supposed to be the carry, and he doesn't actually get any hits in. Finally turns, hits some neutrals for a little bit of bonus, but he's running, but that's not the direction to your base. K1 Hector, he is stuck in a dead end, and he is going to die here. Alliance corral him, kill him, and now chase for more. Next up, Schofield chain stuns very easily. A nice little cherry on top to a good team fight for Alliance.
That was an intimidation buyback by Hanskin. He had no TP, so he wasn't actually relevant when he came back into the game. But I've got to figure that's what forced the rest of Beast Coast heroes away. Because Limp's BKB had faded. Nyx has his stun. Chris Luck has all the abilities. They were just a bit low and afraid of Hanskin coming back.
I mean, that sound is terrifying, right? When you hear the buyback sound from an enemy, and especially when you're on their side of the map where they can so easily rotate. You can definitely see how Beast Coast just wanted to call it quits there, but this initiation from Alliance looks so good. Being able to kill Stinger, the damage they got on K1 Hector, and then kiting him off with Satanic.
Look at the awareness. The Shackle gets both heroes.
Oh my
and he just pops BKB. There's nothing you can do.
Kill too. That is so sweet.
And that was the thing. Those earlier fights, if you remember the one that they took when the support spot back in their tier 2 mid, he missed every Shackle. If you start hitting these 2 hero Shackles, something like in Whisper, he had a stun. Schofield had a stun, but they were just too afraid. And it makes sense. No Satanic, no BKB. Sven ult is fading. Probably better to cut your losses, but
you're just going to listen to K1 Hector and Chris Luck, who probably are both saying, like, we've blown our ultimates. We do not want to keep looking for a fight. Lincoln's up next for Chris Luck. You can see a slight difference in philosophy. Chris Luck focusing on damage first, then going back for the Lincolns. It doesn't really seem like damage is a problem for him, even against the tanky Spectre. I've been very surprised how well his damage just works against this Spectre. It's just insane.
And that's why it'll be interesting to see if he goes for the Silver Edge or the AC next. AC is going to help his Wind Ranger. Silver Edge, especially against heroes like DK Spectre, like you suddenly have the burst if you can catch them. And I think that might be the direction he goes, just because Alliance, they're really suffering just because they have there's no save. Do they have a Force Staff on anybody yet? They do not. Like, somebody gets stunned pre-BKB, like they're going to sit there until they're either dead or finally able to get spell immune.
Right. S4 does hit a really nice timing right now, though. He's got his Aghanim Scepter, and he's level 20. He's got the 20+ strength, so Black Dragon online. S4 knows that, like, they're not going to be able to rely on the Spectre and the Lina alone to be able to carry these fights, so he's going to make sure that he scales well into the game, and he's going to build into an AC next. This is good for Alliance. I think it gives you a little bit more hope about, like, okay, these fights have been kind of messy. We got such a good lead, but it's fine. We still have this really sick late game, right? No matter what happens in these fights, we can keep going late because all of our carries are going to scale.
And you can see even in the net worth, like Chris Luck, they is solo killing Nico Baby, right?
Yeah.
Even though he's behind in net worth. Oh, there's
Alliance getting aggressive again and again, finding Stinger. Chris Luck teeping in late to a team fight with the Nyx Assassin who's already dead. Both supports gone, and Beast Coast are out, and Alliance now feeling themselves really nicely. One of the first fights we've really seen them take on Beast Coast side of the map, and they're actively taking objectives. Alliance feels like they're full of confidence now.
Yeah, the supports can't save themselves. Schofield has Aghanims, but if he's not set up, if Alliance can just press their buttons like that, the Haunt giving full vision, there's just nothing you can do about it. Yeah, the Glimmer Cape is nice, but they have the gem on S4 now.
Hanskin, he gets the Force Staff you were looking for, so they're going to have a little bit better saves to be able to keep some of their heroes alive when they get single targeted by this Chris Luck Wind Ranger. They're going to go for the Shadow Blade now, so it is going to be Silver Edge pickup for Sven, it seems.
Yeah.
They've got it now. Level 25 is not that far away. If you're Alliance, are you okay with chilling right now?
You're okay with chilling, but it's concerning. When you don't have Haunt, it feels a lot more dangerous to be out on the map.
Yeah, and you can see maybe that's why they're playing, well, they were playing a bit conservatively, but now potentially challenging here.
They have gems, so they'd love to play around their vision. It's a very tense game at this point because of the nature of these two teams' lineups, right? Sven Windranger, incredible burst damage, and Alliance, same deal. If they can find a hero with a stun, they're going to collapse. They've got both Finger and Laguna. Like, that first hero will die.
Yeah.
But it's all about advantageous. You can see both teams now just camping a ward. Vision and Initiation will likely decide who wins this next engagement.
In which case, if initiation for a team fight is the most important thing, Alliance will always have the advantage, right? No matter how late the game goes. Because of Han.
It's the Windranger and the Sven Vector. You're going to have a Silver Edge Sven. If he gets a stun off, especially if he goes for the talent level 25, like, that hero is just going to die. Same goes if Chris Luck finds anybody with a shackle.
Yeah. Actually goes for the Stormhammer stun duration.
Yeah, I like that a lot, because you're just trying to utilize the full duration of the Silver Edge. Before that hero, you go for Pop's BKB.
There's a big item pick up, BKB for the Spectre. So when you picked up Silver Edge and then you see the Spectre not only has that Manta but also now has a BKB, I'm not sure how happy he's going to be about this item pickup, but it's something you kind of had to do.
Yeah. It's also just so value now on Sven, the change.
Oh, this is a very interesting position. Beast Coast is on either sides of this. They could potentially sandwich here with the BKB going out from S4. There goes the Hunt. Two-man stun, potentially K1 Hector sees the opening on Nico Baby, but Nico Baby pops on. Jumps over the support, kites out the Sven beautifully. Executes Stinger, executes Schofield. Those two are down. The scores, okay, turned around. Course turned around. Does manage to kill up S4. Nice shackle shot. It'll give K1 Hector some time to lay some damage in, but ultimately, these two are left alone with a swarm of Alliance heroes around them. Chris Luck is going to be caught. Shackle shot at the last second will not save his life. And Hanskin, he wants a little bit more. K1 Hector, Silver Edge on out. And Alliance will pull back, see if Roshan's up. Unfortunately for them, it's not. So Beast Coast will have a chance to contest.
Oh man, if we can see that back. Shadow Demon dies because he's running in range of this old sentry on the high ground. Otherwise, he's going to live and pop his Purge. That was, it's one of those replays. It's going to make you cringe because you just die because there's this weird sentry that nobody noticed. Really nice plays there from Alliance, though. A matter of seconds. Like, Nyx, if you get the stun off before the BKB, S4's probably just dead. When he does BKB, he stuns you, and suddenly you're caught in no man's land.
Yeah.
The MKB on them very effective because now he can just go toe-to-toe with Chris Luck.
Yeah. The old veteran of S4 has been reacting beautifully.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him, I think, caught out by a stun first. Always getting off his BKB before the impale or the...
Like, that was just so sick. Nico Baby, he goes up to the SC, and you can see the sentry that's getting him killed. But, like, that should be a dead Spectre. Instead, he collects a Shadow Demon, TP's base, and he's able to come back into the fight.
Yeah, really sick by him. And being able to use the utility of that Shadow Step. As you can see here, he's back. Okay, he's got enough health to be able to survive. Chris Luck can't do a damn thing to him.
Yeah.
Lions, another Shadow Step. Every single time, Beast Coast probably jumping out of their skin when they hear that noise. It's K1 Hector, they try and get a blank stun off of him. Silver Edge is not going to protect him. Magic damage, throw it in, and K1 Hector is dead.
There you go.
Oh,
Alliance starting to feel
Alliance.
themselves.
They're getting there. They're going to find more. S4, he's here, goes up, but maybe a little bit too deep. He's got his BKB, though, but the damage is coming thick and fast, and it's too much for him.
They got the gem.
Nice stun coming out. Burrow Strike up next. FNG is going to be disrupted, so he's not going anywhere. K1 Hector is going to find this kill. But Alliance, they're okay with this. That was a buyback from the Sven, a win condition. Clear as day. Available for Alliance now.
This is the game. You're fighting in the Roche Pit against a Nyx Assassin with Aghanims. This is what Beast Coast want. They're going to smoke. There is the buyback on DK. 3 heroes now without buyback.
Instead of
really
holding their ground
Hanskin.
around the Roshan pit, they get into the triangle here. Alliance are going to actually read maybe some of this. They're moving to the right. S4 positioning himself between his team and the rest of the enemy.
FNG's going to know.
It's Spirit. He hit so many heroes. He knows they're all here. The Honda is going to go off. They're going to be able to get the initiation. The Bro Strike goes out, but his son actually hitting K1 Hector. He's way far away from some heroes. Chris Luck is going in, but S4, look at that smart TP of his. He gets out of the team fight. K1 Hector turns around with his Satanic. He'll top up the full. Whisper may not be so lucky, though, as Hanskin, he jumps in, trying to kite around Hector. The name of the game is keeping away from the Sven, and Nico, baby, he's been tagged. He's been caught. and a 1400 crit. He brings him down, but if they buy back, if they can get Cactor, he's gonna have a dieback here. All in on the Sven. That's the name of the game for Alliance, and they've got him. He's dead. 2 minutes at Alliance. They see their opportunity. Chris Luck is up next. Nico Baby catches up to him. One hero down. Next one coming up for Chris Luck as he's trying to get away desperately, and he just might. But Alliance, flying high over the trees, flying high over the haters, will be able to find that next kill. No buyback on Wind Ranger, no buyback on Sven. Alliance is free to do whatever they want.
That was insane. So FNG had a Spirit in the Roche pit, so they knew this whole time they're doing something weird. Haunt just gets popped for vision. Whisper goes in, but the Haunt's canceling everybody's blink daggers. Nobody can follow up. Limp is just a machine gun. The Scotty pickup huge because he's just kiting the Sven. K1.
Do you go for throne here, Kyle?
Hell yeah, you go for throne.
Hell yeah, you go for throne. Alliance, are they going to do it, or are they going to play conservatively? They know they've got a full minute. Whisper's looking to be able to cut the creep waves. He has to. He knows they are in such desperation right now, and they're going to make sure to punish that right away. He may have taken away the creep wave, but it will cost him his life, and that just means another hero gone for 2 minutes.
And they know this. They know this for a fact. Sand King and Sven, both on cooldown. Chris Luck could have it up, but he's out of gold.
Backdoor protection is up, but a creep wave is on its way, and nobody from Beast Coast is in position to be able to interfere. You could see Hanskin bodyguarding this creep wave, ready to make sure if anybody tries to stop it, they'll be able to get the punish. Backdoor protection down now, 2 lanes of barracks. Alliance looks like with 2, they're just going to try and go for the trifecta here and make it mega creeps, but a team fight will be ensuing. 15 seconds for the Sven. Beast Coast, if they have a hope of this, they're just going to have to hold around Megas, it looks like. Disruption first. S4 immediately jumps on a Singer. They want to be able to kill him. Gets off the BKB again. Really well timed. Nico Baby turns to go to the Nyx Assassin. Chris Luck will be able to pick up the 1 onto Hanskin, but he's got the buyback and Limp. He does way too damage for Chris Luck. K1 Hector needs to be able to do so much with this God Strike, but he may not do a damn thing. Activates the BKB. The Satanic going up, but the damage is just raining in from Limp. He does too much. 2 buybacks from Beast Coast, but they do not have the heroes to hold this one. Alliance, you want to pick us for an elimination match in a best of 1. You want to try and take us down. You think we're the weak team. Alliance finally proved themselves in the hype moment. They finally proved themselves on the biggest stage. Alliance get a win in playoffs here in 2021.
And there we go. This is the first time I've seen them smile all week, but they earned it. What a match. They dominate the lanes. They come through in the clutch. Shout out to Limp. My man played out of his mind. Ends the game with 30,000 gold. Nearly the Rampage. Oh, unbelievable. He crushed whole game. Lane